Nikola Jokić. Jokic's historic comparison is Wilt Chamberlain. Both played center, dominated in completely different ways, and redefined the position for their own eras. Wilt was taller, but Jokić is heavier and plays in a totally different system. Jokic's game is built around versatility and control, while Chamberlain leaned on size, strength, and endless stamina. Wilt once averaged over 48 minutes a game in a season. Jokić doesn't do that, but he's regularly dropping stat lines that didn't even seem possible back then. Chamberlain owns the rebounding records. Jokić owns the passing numbers. Jokić has 3 MVPs, 1 championship, and an all-around style that's never been seen at his size. Chamberlain has 4 MVPs, 2 championships, and once scored 100 points in a single game. Jokić recently averaged over 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists per game across a season. Wilt's career averages are around 30 points and 22 rebounds, with assists near 4. Jokic's career assist average is about 7, which is nuts for a center. They both changed how people think about big men. Chamberlain made defense adjust the rules. Jokić makes teams rethink who should run the offense. They both shattered expectations. They just did it in totally different basketball worlds. Giannis. Giannis's historic comparison is Shaq. Both thrived by punishing defenders in the paint, but how they did it was totally different. Shaq used brute force, planted himself on the block, and dared opponents to stop him. Giannis does it with a bit more finesse and a lot more movement. He attacks from the perimeter, in transition, or off cuts, and adds playmaking that Shaq didn't really bring. Their size and dominance inside are where the similarities start. Shaq stood around 7'1" and weighed over 300 pounds. Giannis is about 6'11" and 243 pounds. One was a classic center, the other a hybrid forward who plays like a freight train. Giannis averages more assists per game, plays more defense on the perimeter, and racks up all defensive honor. Shaq has 4 championships and 3 finals MVPs. Giannis has 1 championship and 1 finals MVP. But in terms of dominating stretches, they've both had some serious runs. Giannis had 9 30-point, 10-rebound playoff games in one run, the most since Shaq had 13 in the year 2000. They both shoot extremely well inside, and both rarely rely on the three-pointer. Giannis just adds modern movement and passing to the old-school dominance Shaq made legendary. Luka. Luka's historic comparison is a hybrid of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. All 3 are oversized playmakers, but Luka mixes Bird's scoring and rebounding with Magic's passing and ball control. Bird was 6'9", Magic the same, and Luka stands 6'8". Bird and Magic had clearly defined roles back then. Luka blends both. His scoring average sits near 28 points per game, higher than both Bird and Magic. His assist numbers land near 8 per game, not quite Magic level, but well ahead of Bird. In rebounding, he's right in the mix with both. Magic averaged more assists. Bird averaged more rebounds. Luka lands in between, but adds more scoring. All 3 contributed in 3 categories consistently: points, rebounds, assists. Luka's also piled up triple-doubles faster than most players in league history. Bird and Magic collected MVPs and championships. Luka's still climbing that ladder, but when you watch him run the offense, grab boards, and lead the team in scoring, it's easy to see why the comparison works. He doesn't just score or pass, he does both, while rebounding like a forward. That versatility is rare. Luka isn't exactly Bird or Magic, but the blend of their impact is written all over his game, night after night. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe, I'm going to be posting every day. Thanks. Anyways, Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama's historic comparison is Hakeem. They're both dominant bigs, drafted first overall and expected to anchor a franchise. Hakeem was a 7-footer, listed at 255 pounds. Wembanyama stands around 7'3" and weighs about 235 pounds. Hakeem's career averages were 21.8 points, 11.1 rebounds, and 3.1 blocks per game. Wembanyama, after 2 full seasons, is averaging around 22.5 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 3.7 blocks per game. That's already near or above Hakeem's numbers, though of course Wembanyama's just getting started. Hakeem had 18 seasons, 2 championships, 1 Most Valuable Player award, and 2 finals. Most Valuable Player awards. Wembanyama's top accolade so far is the Rookie of the Year award in 2024. Hakeem was a master of the post, with elite footwork and rim protection. Wembanyama adds something new: perimeter shooting, mobility, and playmaking that Hakeem's era rarely asked of centers. Both dominate defensively. Both rebound at elite levels, but Wembanyama's offensive game already stretches beyond the paint. That's the key contrast. Hakeem redefined what a center could do in the post. Wembanyama's redefining what a center even is. Their tools are different, but their roles as franchise-defining bigs, that part's the same. Shai's historic comparison is Kobe Bryant. They're both 6'6" guards with elite scoring talent, but the way they go about it is shaped by era and role. Kobe was a shooting guard with a scoring-first mentality. Shai is more of a combo guard, directing the offense, while still being a top scorer. Shai's efficiency is off the charts right now. In the 2025 season, he averaged 32.7 points per game on over 51% shooting. That season, he also won the Most Valuable Player Award, Finals Most Valuable Player Award, and led the league in scoring. Only 3 other players in league history have done that. Kobe had a longer resume, obviously. 5 championships, 2 finals, Most Valuable Player Awards, 1 league, Most Valuable Player Award, 15 All-NBA selection. But Shai's peak already mirrors some of Kobe's best years. Both have dropped multiple 50-point games, taken over playoff series, and been the offensive heart of their team. Kobe's career scoring average is just over 25 points, with fewer assists. Shai's sitting at around 24 points per game across his first 471 games, with higher assist numbers. Kobe had elite footwork, a lethal mid-range game, and unmatched drive. Shai brings slashing, control, and smooth isolation scoring. They're not the same, but the parallels are real. LeBron James. James's historic comparison is Michael Jordan. This one was obvious. The 2 greatest players ever. Jordan played as a 6'6" shooting guard and weighed around 215 pounds. James is about 6'9" and over 250 pounds, playing mostly forward while handling the ball like a guard. Jordan's focus was elite scoring and defense, while James brings a mix of scoring, playmaking, and rebounding. Jordan's career average is 30.1 points per game, with 6.2 rebounds and 5.3 assists. James averages around 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game. Jordan finished with 32,292 total points in 1,072 games. James has over 42,000 total points through more than 1,560 games. Jordan had 6 championships with 6 finals, Most Valuable Player Awards, and 5 Most Valuable Player Awards. James has 4 championships, 4 finals Most Valuable Player Awards, and 4 Most Valuable Player Awards. Jordan's playoff scoring average is higher, but James has more rebounds and assists. Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. James has more finals appearances, but more losses. Jordan had the better free throw percentage. James has the edge in field goal percentage. Both dominated their eras, one with scoring perfection, the other with all-around longevity. Anthony Edwards. Edwards' historic comparison is D. Wade. Both are 6'4" shooting guards with explosive scoring ability and strong athletic frame. Wade was listed at 220 pounds during his playing career. Edwards comes in slightly heavier at around 225 pounds. Wade played 16 seasons and averaged 22 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. Edwards, through about 384 games, is averaging roughly 23.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. Their scoring numbers are close, though Wade had more assists, while Edwards is pulling more rebounds early in his career. Wade won 3 championships, was named Finals Most Valuable Player once, and made 13 All-Star teams. Edwards' career is still developing, but he's already recorded a 53-point game with 10 three-pointers, something Wade never did. Wade was known for attacking the rim, elite slashing, and clutch playoff moments. Edwards shows more perimeter shooting, but is also effective driving inside. They both play with confidence, physicality, and have taken on lead roles for their teams. Wade was a proven champion. Edwards is still writing his story, but the early signs point to a player with a statistical profile and playing style worthy of the comparison. Anthony Davis. Davis's historic comparison is Kevin Garnett. Both are dominant front court players, listed around 6'10" to 6'11", who've anchored defense and impacted the game with rebounding, shot blocking, and scoring. Garnett averaged about 17.8 points, 10 rebounds, and 3.7 assists over a 21-year career. Davis so far is averaging about 24.1 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. He also blocks over 2 shots a game. Garnett won 1 championship and was the league's most valuable player in 2004. Davis also won 1 championship with the Lakers in 2020. Garnett earned Defensive Player of the Year honors in 2008 and made the All-Defensive First Team 9 times. Davis has not won Defensive Player of the Year, but has regularly been among the league's top shot blockers and has multiple All-Defensive selections. Garnett rarely shot from three. Davis doesn't rely on it either, but he does space the floor more in a modern system. Garnett's game leaned on intensity, rebounding, and defense. Davis adds modern versatility, switching, pick and pop, more face-up offense. They're not identical, but Davis's role as a mobile, elite defender and scoring big makes the comparison a strong one across eras. Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell's historic comparison is pre-injury Gilbert Arenas. Both are high-scoring guards, listed at 6'3" who can take over a game with shot creation and big-time scoring. Arenas averaged about 20.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 5.3 assists across his career, though his peak in the mid-2000s was much higher. In the 2004 to 2007 stretch, he averaged over 25 points per game and once dropped 60 against the Lakers. Mitchell has averaged about 24.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 4.7 assists so far. Arenas relied on pull-ups, drives, and volume scoring. Mitchell plays in a more spaced era, takes more threes, and adds more rebounding. Arenas averaged more assists, while Mitchell's stat lines are more balanced. Both could drop 40 on any given night. Mitchell just does it with more efficiency from deep and in an era with faster pace. They're not the same, but the way Mitchell scores and leads aligns closely with how Arenas dominated before injury shortened his prime. Jalen Brunson. Brunson's historic comparison is Allen Iverson. Iverson was listed at 6 feet tall and weighed around 165 pounds. Brunson is listed at 6'2" and about 190 pounds. Both played guard, scored off the dribble, and operated as primary offensive options. Iverson's career average was 26.7 points, 6.2 assists, and 3.7 rebounds per game, with 2.2 steals. Brunson's current career numbers sit at around 18.3 points, 5 assists, and 3.2 rebounds per game. In the 2025 season, Brunson averaged 26 points and 7.3 assists on 48.8% shooting. Iverson won 1 Most Valuable Player award, made 11 All-Star teams, won 4 scoring titles, and averaged nearly 30 points per game in the playoffs. Brunson recently won Clutch Player of the Year and was named an All-Star. Both guards create for themselves, handle the ball, and deliver in big moments. Iverson played in a lower efficiency, higher usage era, while Brunson plays a more efficient, modern game with better spacing and more three-point shooting. Iverson's legacy is set. Brunson's is still growing, but their roles, lead guard, offensive engine, and clutch performer, make the comparison make sense in pure function, if not scale. Cade Cunningham. Cunningham's historical comparison is a pre-injury Penny Hardaway. Both are tall guards. Penny listed at 6'7", Cade at 6'6", who play as primary ball handlers with the size and vision to create for others. Penny averaged over 20 points and 7 assists per game at his peak in the mid-90s before injury. Cade is currently averaging over 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, and more than 7 assists per game, including over 26 points and 9 assists in the 2024 to 2025 season. Both players rebound well for their position and serve as the offensive engines for their teams. Penny's early success included 4 straight All-Star appearances and an NBA Finals run with Orlando. Cade has yet to reach the postseason consistently, but he's producing at a higher statistical rate than Penny's peak in both scoring and assists. Penny played in a slower, less three-point heavy era. Cade plays in a modern system with more spacing and more responsibility in creation. Injuries cut Penny's peak short. Cade has not had that derailment, and his trajectory is trending upward. The comparison holds because both are versatile, oversized guards who run the offense, create for teammates, and score efficiently. Cade doing so in a modern, evolving context. Devin Booker. Booker's historical comparison is Jerry West. West was listed at 6 feet 3 inches and 175 pounds, while Booker is 6 feet 5 inches and about 206 pounds. Both play guard, with West operating as a scoring and playmaking combo guard for the Lakers in the 1960s and 70s, and Booker serving as the lead offensive option for the Phoenix Suns in the modern NBA. West averaged 27 points, 6.7 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game for his career. Booker's career averages sit around 24.5 points, 5.3 assists, and 4 rebounds. West made 14 All-Star teams, 12 All-NBA teams, 5 All-Defensive teams, and won an NBA championship in 1972. Booker is a 4-time All-Star so far, a 2-time All-NBA selection, and became the Suns' all-time leading scorer in 2025. West averaged over 30 points per game in 4 different seasons and won the Finals' Most Valuable Player award in a losing effort. Booker scored 70 points in a single game at age 20, the youngest player in league history to do so. The comparison works because both are premier scoring guards who anchor their teams offensively. West played in a mid-range, slower-paced era with different statistical expectations. Booker plays in a high-tempo, three-point-oriented league. While Booker has not yet matched West's full legacy or accolades, their roles, high-volume scoring guards with playmaking duties and clutch reputations, align across eras. Paolo, Banchero. Paolo's historic comparison is Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo entered the league in the early 2000s and played 19 seasons. Paolo's just wrapped up his third. Carmelo came in at 6'7" and 238 pounds, while Paolo stands taller and heavier at 6'10" and 250 pounds. That size gap alone sets them apart physically, especially when Paolo plays more like a forward guard hybrid. Carmelo was all about scoring, a pure bucket getter from the mid-range and beyond. Paolo scores, sure, but he's also rebounding and dishing out assists at a higher rate early in his career. Carmelo averaged 22.5 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists across over 1,200 games. Paolo's career averages so far, 22.4 points, 7.1 boards, and 4.6 assists. And in this current season, he's jumped to nearly 26 points per game. That's not just volume, that's production with balance. Carmelo made 10 All-Star teams and 6 All-NBA squads. Paolo's still building, but it's clear he's on a track that includes more than just scoring. This comparison works because both are forwards who dominate offensively, but Paolo brings a different wrinkle, one that reflects how the position's changing in today's league. Jayson Tatum. Tatum's historic comparison is Tracy McGrady. They're both 6'8", 210 pounds, and built like wings, who could give any defense a headache. McGrady played mostly as a scoring guard forward, while Tatum's more of a forward who can still create for others. McGrady had that raw, unstoppable scoring feel, but Tatum's game stretches wider. He rebounds more and gets more assists, especially in recent seasons. Before the Achilles injury in 2025, Tatum was putting up over 26 points, nearly 9 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. That's not just consistency, that's doing everything. McGrady, at his peak, averaged over 31 points in a season, but his career average dropped due to injury years. He ended with 19.6 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. Tatum already has a ring. McGrady, despite all that talent, never got one. Prime McGrady was a scoring machine, but Tatum's numbers show more balance and modern versatility. Tatum's playoff elimination game averages over 26 points, nearly 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Tell you he steps up when it counts. Comparing them makes sense, but the era shift, playmaking edge, and Tatum's title push the contrast forward. Still, both could flat out take over games. Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton's historic comparison is Steve Nash. Both ran the point, both dished out assists like they were handing out candy, and both had control of the offense without needing to dominate scoring. Nash played 18 seasons, averaged around 14 points and 8.5 assists, and shot lights out, over 42% from 3 and over 90% from the line. Haliburton, through 5 seasons, already averages more in points and assists, sitting near 18 points and nearly 9 assists. His shooting splits trail Nash's all-time marks, but they're still strong, especially in today's pace-heavy game. Haliburton's taller, standing 6'5" to Nash's 6'3", which gives him some edge in length and defensive potential. Nash led the league in assists 5 times and won 2 Most Valuable Player awards. Haliburton hasn't hit those accolades yet, but the assist numbers suggest he's walking that same path. In the 2024 to 2025 season, Haliburton averaged over 9 assists again. That kind of distribution at his size is rare. Nash changed the way point guards played in the 2000s. Haliburton's doing his thing in a league that now expects scoring and playmaking from the same guy. Comparing them shows just how far the roles evolve, without losing its core. Pascal. Pascal's historic comparison is James Worthy. Both played forward, both had size and mobility, and both contributed to championship teams. Worthy came in at 6'9" and 225 pounds. Pascal's just an inch shorter, but 20 pounds heavier. Worthy averaged about 17 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists per game across 926 games. Pascal's regular season numbers, roughly 18 points, 7 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists, come in just above that across his career so far. Worthy made 7 All-Star teams and won 3 rings. Pascal has 1 title, 3 All-Star selections, and 2 All-NBA nods. In playoff numbers, Worthy actually scored more, averaging 21 points per game in the postseason. Pascal holds steady in both regular and playoff games, averaging 18 points in each. Pascal's playmaking numbers are higher. He's posted over 5 assists in his best season, showing more creation. Worthy's role focused on finishing, especially in transition for the Showtime Lakers. Pascal's game covers more ground, shooting, switching, creating, because today's game demands it. Comparing them shows how the forward spot evolved. Pascal's role is wider, but the versatility, two-way value, and ability to step up in big games is something both players clearly share. Bam. Bam's historic comparison is Jokić Noah. Both played center, both anchored the defense, and both impacted the game without needing to score 30 every night. Noah stood 6'11" and weighed around 232 pounds. Bam's a bit shorter, but heavier, at 6'9" and 255 pounds. Noah's career, regular season averages were about 9 points, 9 rebounds, and nearly 3 assists per game. Bam's averages so far are roughly 16 points, 9 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists. Bam clearly scores more and facilitates more. Noah earned 2 All-Star nods, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and made multiple All-Defensive teams. Bam's been an All-Star more than once and earned similar All-Defensive recognition. The big difference? Bam's offensive role is bigger. More touches, more creation, more scoring responsibility. Noah was a defensive leader with high energy and strong passing out of the post, but Bam adds modern versatility, switching on guards, handling the ball, even running some offense. Still, the comparison works because both are defensive anchors, strong rebounders, and passers from the front court. Bam's doing it in a different era, but their impacts as non-traditional scoring bigs with all-around utility draw a clear, fact-based connection between the two. Chet Holmgren. Holmgren's historic comparison is Ralph Sampson. Chet's listed at 7'1" and 208 pounds, while Ralph stood 7'4" and weighed 228. Both played center and power forward. Both had length and mobility, and both arrived with massive expectation. Ralph averaged over 21 points and 11 rebounds in his rookie season. Chet, in his first 118 games, averaged around 16 points, 8 rebounds, and over 2 blocks, while shooting nearly 37% from 3. Ralph rarely shot from distance. Career three-point percentage was below 18% because that wasn't part of the game then. Chet plays in an era where bigs shoot, switch, and initiate offense. Ralph's career average was 15.4 points and 8.8 rebounds per game. Chet is right there statistically, just in a very different context. Ralph won Rookie of the Year and made 4 All-Star teams. Chet's already helped lead the Thunder to a championship and was drafted second overall, just like Ralph was drafted first. The comparison makes sense because of how rare it is to see that size with skill. Chet's game stretches wider, but both redefined what bigs could do in their eras. It's a valid parallel with very different long-term paths. De'Aaron Fox. Fox's historic comparison is Kevin Johnson. Johnson stood 6'1" and averaged about 17.9 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 9.1 assists over 12 seasons. Fox is taller at 6'3" and so far averages over 21 points, nearly 4 rebounds, and just over 6 assists. Johnson was a high-level passer and ran the offense as a true floor general. Fox plays in an era where point guards are expected to score more, and his numbers reflect that shift. Fox shoots around 47% from the field. Johnson shot a very efficient 49.3% across his career. Johnson was a 3-time All-Star with 5 All-NBA selections, while Fox, though still active, hasn't matched that accolade count yet. Fox's rebounding numbers are slightly higher, and his scoring average is notably above Johnson's career mark. The key contrast comes in playmaking. Johnson dished out more assists and played in a system that leaned heavier on set offense. Fox thrives more in transition and modern pick-and-roll spacing. Both were top 10 picks, expected to lead their franchises. Comparing them highlights how the point guard role shifted from Johnson's pass-first style to Fox's scoring plus facilitation blend. It's a valid match rooted in position, usage, and team leadership. Jaren Jackson Jr. Jackson's historic comparison is a better scoring Serge Ibaka. Jaren is 6'10" and about 242 pounds, while Serge stood 6'11" and 235. Both played forward center roles with rim protection, shot blocking, and floor spacing. But Jaren's scoring stands out. His career average is about 18.5 points per game, and in the 2024 to 2025 season, he put up 22.2 points on nearly 37.5% shooting from three. Serge averaged 12 points for his career, with the peak season around 15. Jaren clearly carries a heavier offensive load. Serge's field goal percentage was higher at around 51%, but that came on fewer shots and mostly inside looks. Jaren's scoring includes threes, post-ups, drives, and pick and pop options. Serge did grow into a solid shooter, hitting almost 36% from deep, but he never had Jaren's volume or usage. Jackson's role on offense includes more creation and versatility, while Serge played as a complementary scorer. The comparison works because both block shots and space the floor, but Jaren scores more and from more spots. He's a modern big with a larger offensive burden, which puts him in a different scoring category while still echoing what made Serge effective. Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis' historic comparison is Arvydas Sabonis. This one is obvious, but makes too much sense. Arvydas stood 7'3" and weighed nearly 300 pounds, while Domantas comes in at 6'10" and about 240. Arvydas played center for the Portland Trail Blazers, joining the NBA in his 30s after dominating overseas. Domantas entered the league young, drafted in the first round in 2016. Arvydas averaged around 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists per game over 470 games. Domantas has averaged about 16 points, 11 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists so far in his career. The difference in playmaking is big. Domantas has become a top-tier passing big, while Arvydas was effective but had a smaller assist role in the NBA. Domantas' field goal percentage in the 2024 to 2025 season hit 59%. Arvydas finished his career with 50% shooting overall. Domantas has also led the league in rebound multiple times and made 3 All-Star teams. Arvydas was inducted into the Hall of Fame, with his global legacy factoring in heavily. The comparison works because both played as skilled big men with rebounding and touch, but Domantas adds more assists and plays a larger offensive role. It's a generational echo with clear statistical growth. Tyrese Maxey. Maxey's historic comparison is pre-injury Derrick Rose. Maxey's listed at 6'2" and 200 pounds. Rose was 6'3", 200, and in his early years ran the point for the Bulls as their lead creator. Maxey plays as a combo guard for the Sixers, operating as a scorer with growing playmaking duties. In the 2024 to 2025 season, Maxey averaged 26.3 points and over 6 assists across 52 games. Rose, in his rookie year, averaged 16.8 points and 6.3 assists. Maxey's career averages now sit at about 19.8 points, 4.5 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. Rose's full career line, 17.4 points, 5.2 assists, 3.2 rebounds. In 2010 to 2011, Rose averaged over 25 points and 7 assists and won Most Valuable Player at age 22. Maxey recently won Most Improved Player and made his first All-Star team. Both were young league guards, shouldering big offensive loads. The difference is Maxey plays in a 3-point heavy era and takes more shots from range. Rose attacked with explosive drives and mid-range efficiency. Maxey's on a sharp rise. Rose peaked early before injuries hit. The comparison holds as a scoring first young guard on a rapid ascent. Amen Thompson. Thompson's historic comparison is Shawn Marion. Both stand 6'7" and play hybrid wing forward roles, known for athleticism and versatility. Marion, drafted 9th overall in 1999, averaged 15.2 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game over 1,163 NBA games. Thompson, drafted 4th overall in 2023, is early in his career, but already averages 11.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 3.3 assists across his first 136 games, including a recent season with averages of 14.1 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. The statistical profiles align in rebounding and scoring, but Thompson contributes more assists, signaling a broader playmaking role. Marion was known for defense, rebounding, and off-ball scoring. Thompson mirrors the rebounding and defensive potential, but adds facilitation. Marion shot about 48% from the field across his career. Thompson is over 54% so far. The comparison works. Both impact multiple statistical areas without dominating the ball. Thompson represents a modern version of Marion, similar size and defensive tools, with added playmaking responsibilities. Lauri's historical comparison is Rashard Lewis. Lauri stands 7 feet 1 inch and weighs about 240 pounds. Lewis was listed at 6 feet 10 inches and 235 pounds. Both played forward positions, primarily power forward, with perimeter scoring and size. Lauri has career averages of approximately 18.4 points and 7.1 rebounds per game. Lewis, over a 16-season career, averaged about 14.9 points and 5.2 rebounds. Both are known for their three-point shooting. Lewis shot roughly 38.6% from three for his career, while Lauri has surpassed 37% in multiple seasons with higher volume. Lauri averaged 25.6 points and 8.6 rebounds in the 2022 to 2023 season. Lewis had peak seasons above 20 points per game, but typically played as a complementary scorer. Lauri's rebound numbers are higher, and his offensive role is more central in modern offenses. Lewis played in an era with less perimeter usage from big men and served more as a stretch four or spot-up option. Both were all-stars. Lewis was selected twice and won a championship with Miami in 2013. Lauri has earned all-star recognition and won the NBA's Most Improved Player award. The comparison works because both are floor-spacing forwards with size and mobility. Lauri, though, plays in a more modern stretch-big context and takes on a larger scoring and rebounding role than Lewis did in his era. Zion Williamson. Williamson's historical comparison is Charles Barkley. Both are listed at 6 feet 6 inches and play forward as primary scoring options. Barkley, drafted 5th overall in 1984, played 16 seasons and averaged 22.1 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game. Williamson, drafted 1st overall in 2019, is still in the early stages of his career, but currently averages approximately 24.6 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. Barkley was known for elite rebounding and scoring, despite being considered undersized for his position. Williamson plays with even more bulk, roughly 284 pounds, and generates scoring with elite interior finishing and physical dominance. Barkley's career field goal percentage was 54.1%. Williamson has shot over 58% from the field across his career so far. Barkley was an 11-time All-Star and won Most Valuable Player in 1993. Williamson has already made multiple All-Star appearances and is the offensive focal point for New Orleans. Barkley averaged more rebounds, but Williamson produces more assists and has a higher field goal percentage. The comparison fits. Both are undersized forwards with explosive power and elite scoring ability. Barkley set the standard in the 1980s and 90s. Williamson reflects a modern evolution, less rebounding, more facilitating, and even more efficient finishing. LaMelo Ball. Ball's historical comparison is Pete Maravich. Ball is listed at 6 feet 6 inches and 190 pounds, while Maravich was 6 feet 5 inches and 197 pounds. Both played guard, Ball as a point guard and Maravich as a hybrid shooting and point guard with major offensive creation responsibilities. Maravich averaged 24.2 points, 5.4 assists, and 4.2 rebounds across 658 career games. He led the league in scoring in the 1976-77 season with 31.1 points per game. Ball, early in his career, is averaging roughly 21.1 points, 7.4 assists, and 6.0 rebounds per game. In the 2024-25 season, he averaged 25.2 points, 7.4 assists, and 4.9 rebounds in 47 games. Both are high-skill offensive guards. Maravich was known for his creativity, handle, and shot making before the three-point line was widely used. Ball plays in a modern era with pace, spacing, and three-point volume, reflected in his higher assist numbers and modern offensive style. Ball has already earned Rookie of the Year honors. Maravich was a 5-time All-Star and a Hall of Famer. Both are gifted guard scorers and creators who serve as primary offensive engines for their teams. Maravich represented the scoring guard of the 1970s. Ball reflects the modern playmaking guard in the 2020s, with more passing volume, similar scoring traits, and comparable physical profile. Alperen Sengun. Sengun's historical comparison is Paolo. Both are international front court players who combine scoring, rebounding, and passing ability from the center or power forward position. Pau was born in 1980 in Barcelona, Spain, and measured 7 feet tall and about 250 pounds. Sengun was born in 2002 in Giresun, Turkey, and is listed at 6 feet 11 inches and roughly 243 to 250 pounds. Pau averaged 17 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game across 1,226 regular season games, shooting about 50.7% from the field. Sengun, in his early career with Houston, averages roughly 16 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. In the 2024 to 2025 season, he posted 19.1 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game, while shooting 49.6%. Pau's career totals include multiple All-Star selections, All-NBA honors, and 2 championships. Sengun is still early in his career, but shows similar statistical structure, balanced scoring, strong rebounding, and above-average passing for a big man. Pau's assist average of 3.2 is notable for his era. Sengun's early assist rates, over 4 per game, indicate expanded facilitation in modern offenses. Both are skilled international bigs who rely on technique, footwork, and vision rather than pure athleticism. Pau represented the prototype European skill big of the 2000s. Sengun mirrors that archetype in the 2020s, slightly smaller, more playmaking focused, and operating in a faster, more perimeter-oriented league. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.